Judgment is about healing, but it can also be about healing through how do you say the word? Regurgitation? Basically cleansing through throwing it all up. I always go back to Judgment Day. Have you actually been doing the work in order to level up to the next step, to the next level? Are you ready to go through that portal? Because there's two men beside each other, which has the same symbolism in regards to pillars of the Hierophant, the High Priestess, which is connected to the divine, the otherworldly, mystical knowledge that is not in the physical world. But Judgment Day in the Bible, and I'm not even religious, but Judgment Day in the Bible is essentially about like cleansing. It can be like making a judgment call, but the flag right here is actually associated specifically with healing. So it can be regurgitation, I don't even know if I'm saying that word right, through healing. So things that are coming up, you might feel that things are coming up and that you're like, it's like recycling and you can't attach to them because it's a cleansing. Such as the same thing is with Judgment Day, where it's essentially God starting over. The divine guidance or the inner guidance is like starting over, and you get a clean slate and you drown everything you've created and you save what can be put on a boat and you start over. I mean, that could be like literally getting on a boat and just having your essentials, because in Judgment Day it's like, what was it, like Noah, where he had to pick out only like two. I don't know if it was like Judgment Day or if that was something entirely different. But like Noah's Ark or whatever. Judgment Day is essentially just like, it's a cleansing because water is associated with emotions. And the fact that Judgment Day in the Bible specifically is literally about just... Judgment Day always makes me think like, oh, I fucked up. Like God literally being like, oh, okay, I fucked up, so we're just gonna start over. We're just gonna have a clean slate and try again. Let's do this again because this isn't working. We're just gonna reboot. And how we're gonna do this is we're gonna level up the land and we're gonna forget about what just happened here. It also gives me like a trial. So I'm just thinking of like judgment in the sense of like, okay, let's say an angel literally, like the stories in the Bibles, an angel literally comes down and they're like honking their horn and they're just like, yeah, you're gonna have to do this really difficult thing. I mean, when you think about like, is it Joanne? Like, it's kind of crazy to like be like, oh yeah, I'm hearing voices and I'm gonna follow them. Oh, I'm hearing voices and it's God and I'm gonna follow it. Like when Christianity wasn't this huge thing that everyone, like universal religion of America and all that. Considering like if I'm just like chilling in my day-to-day life, just enjoying materialism of a human being, and a freaking angel came out of fucking nowhere and was like this is what you're being called for, or like I feel like if an angel is having to actually present themselves to you in order to message, it's like it's either A, you fucked up, or B, it's like they're sending you on your course. So it's like redirection, because when an angel has to, like, when you're literally your guide has to like show themselves to you in your 3D element, and it's like, okay, this is what's happening. And the horn is often of celebration, a message. I'm getting that you're getting a message in regards to literally getting everything you want. Because Ten of Pentacles is literally, I mean, in the traditional case, I believe the Ten of Pentacles, it's like having it's having everything. Like you have the family line, which can be interpreted as like having the family investments, family investing in you, but it's like literally you have the financial foundation to pursue what you need to. So I feel like this is like the universe is going to come towards you. They're going to reveal themselves into the next thing, and you're going to be provided all the resources needed in order to move towards this. It's the next cycle in your life. Interesting. But something like you're completely debilitating yourself. Like Eight of Swords is about a self-sabotage. Like you're trapped, but it's a self-created trap. It's like it's a mental, so whatever confinement you feel you're at, or whatever way you feel you cannot move forward, it's an illusion of your own mind, because that's not the case. You have the resources. And I feel like you will be receiving a message, in regards to waking you up. There's a mental blockage that is, you have this inability to not see what is outward in front of you, because Ten of Pentacles is about the materialism. It's about your physical, that you're physically actually supported by the universe. This can be in regards to like familial. It can literally just be like outward, outside resources that are already available to you to get what you want, to get what you seek. So it's like there's going to be this wake-up call of the resources that you already have the availability to receive. But the issue with getting everything we want is that if you're mentally blocked, if you're mentally disconnected from your own wealth, from your own abundance that is susceptible to you already, then you're not going to be able to see, because not having clarity, you're going to move in the world as if you don't have that wealth. What people see is that you have the Ten of Pentacles, you have everything, if you want something, you can get it, because in this world, it is technically all about money, and I think we are moving away from that. But technically in this world, in the bare bones of it, if you have money, you can get anything you want. You can get everything you want. But if you're an individual that is hindered, you have your own self-limiting beliefs that are stopping you from seeing your own wealth, from seeing the resources that you already have available to you to live a wealthy life, to live an abundant life, to have everything you want. And also might be with the Ten of Pentacles, with the Eight of Swords, this might be that what you think is wealth, what you think is abundance, from the perspective of the 3D, or capitalism, or what we traditionally think of as wealth, the millionaire lifestyle, the billionaire lifestyle, celebrity, that's not wealth, that's not abundance, because they're still trapped to a system that tells them what to do. Your limiting thought of wealth might actually be what's stopping you. But if your ultimatum is financial freedom, or just freedom from systems, you can have that by moving away from how you receive wealth and just having an open mind about it. That to live a wealthy life doesn't mean that you have all this money, or that not having a job means you don't have resources, because there's actually tons of resources outside of having actual money, where there's food banks, there's actually food banks that are facilities that give homeless, and those facilities are open not just for the homeless but to anyone. You're gonna have a wake-up call to finally confront your self-limiting beliefs, your own entrapments stopping you from seeing how you are constantly provided for, how you are given the Ten of Pentacles from the universe. And you might be asking for more and more and more, And it's going to be a wake-up call, because it's going to be like, wake up, bitch. You have everything. And you're going to realize that you're going to have to slowly take out those swords that are debilitating you. And I'm looking at even like how like he's entrapped perfectly, like entrapped into a perfect square, how the swords perfectly, so it's like this is like foundational. And if we don't have clarity on where we're at and have that actualization, have that awareness of where we're at, then we can't move forward. So that's why they say spirituality comes from, oftentimes a lot of people, they have their spiritual awakening when they become aware, and that usually comes from meditation and just observing where you're at right now. And so when approaching your self-limiting beliefs, just like observe where your mind is, where it's going, where it traps you, where it creates these webs, where it creates these imprisonments, where you're unable to move. And you're going to have to move away from that, the entrapments you put yourself in. This isn't from anyone, so you can't blame anyone else, because the Eight of Swords is about self-entrapment, self-illusions that are somehow, in some way, they're keeping you safe. In some aspect, you feel this is a safety, that this self-enclosure, it has some function of keeping you safe, and there's this illusion of you can't do anything about it, but like you're the one who put yourself in this situation. And by having the self-awareness of waking up, which comes with the judgment, is you'll then see all the resources, all the potential, all the resources you have to receive and to give back. So it's like going back to the books. I know the Two of Pentacles is technically the Two of Pentacles is actually like balancing and prioritizing and multitasking. Traditionally, the Two of Pentacles is essentially just multitasking and juggling, where you're not able to give the full attention to one Pentacles because you have two in your hand. So it's like the art of being able to kind of, by not giving one pentacle its full attention. So it's like maybe you have like two businesses or two jobs where you have to like balance out, or you have two bank accounts where you're balancing them out. I don't know why I got that, but Nine of Pentacles is about like your self-made. It's often the Nine of Pentacles is entrepreneurship, but you have the Ten of Pentacles and you have the Nine of Pentacles. So this tells me that you have the potential to basically be your own boss. You already have the resources to not have to work for a system. And I feel that you're going to have a wake-up call that's going to break down that's going to have to weaken these swords that you've strategically placed, where your inability to move. I mean, he's even like looking away from the swords. I mean, Nine of Pentacles is you're being rewarded for your efforts. It's achievement. Nine of Pentacles is you're finally able to see the actual reward for your hard work. So you're finally able to see the garden you have grown. And in the traditional tarot deck, she's in a garden, and even here, they're holding a pentacle, so they're finally able to like touch it, physically enjoy it. But I feel that the Eight of Swords is literally right in the middle of these cards. I feel that even if you have this, you literally have your Garden of Eden or whatever, or Eve, where you're able to go walk through your garden. But it's not something is like stopping you, where you're not able to actually enjoy it. Mentally, you're not there. Mentally, you're somewhere else. Like you're disconnected from what you have grown, your hard work. Like, because from the Nine of Pentacles, you're going back to the Two of Pentacles, like you're juggling. So it might be that while one project has refurbished success and potentially passive income. Another, you're like going back to the book, like having to balance, having to negotiate your attention on two things, not fully giving each one the specified attention it needs to actually grow and flourish, which can take longer when you think about, like, if you have two jobs, you're not able to give your full attention to one job to really see that growth. Like, if you're trying to learn two skills, it's going to take a lot longer than if you learned one skill for a couple months, and then once you master that skill, you learn something else. What is this Eight of Swords? Please clarify this Eight of Swords. This is Queen of Wands. Your blockage is passion. You're seeing the physical success, but you're disconnected because the clarity that you're self-imposing yourself to not see is that you don't have the passion for it. And so it's like just going through the motions of, like, this is what you need to do in order to be financially susceptible, or what's hindering you is that you don't have the passion, you don't have the leadership, you don't have that fire, that action, that direction. So even if you do have all the resources in order to build your wealth up, in order to be abundant, even if you are already abundant and you have everything that you need, and you have your garden and you're seeing the fruits of your labor flourish, what's stopping you is that your passion isn't there. So it's going to be a wake-up call for you. Yeah, you have the Queen of Wands and the Sun for the Eight of Swords. So whatever you're blossoming, whatever you've been working hard and you're finally, unfortunately, it's like there's no, it doesn't connect you. You're disconnected from your passion. You're disconnected from your inner child. You're disconnected from the sun, from the joy, from the excitement of being human. And you're, in some sense, like, you're blocking yourself because you're like, well, I don't need the joy. I don't need to be passionate. So I'm going to use my mental abilities to block that part of myself, because your thinking is that in order to be financially wealthy, financially abundant in this reality, and that might be true, but I feel that spiritually we are moving away from that as a collective, where people are getting burnt out. And because you don't have that passion, you might be able to feel the fruits of your labor, but you're not there. You're blocked. And so when we're blocked from, like, you can't even feel them. Like, if you're not mentally aware, then you're not there. Like, you're not even excited. Like, how can you be excited about, like, you're numb. Like, you're like, having the Eight of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles, it's like you're not fully present in what you are finally able to touch. Like, it's like touching gold and just, like, watching it melt through your fingers, because it's like physically you have felt that you can get wealth without joy, without happiness. Because maybe your Eight of Swords is that you feel that if you try to make your joy, what excites you, what gives you pleasure, something that is an income for you, that then that thing isn't going to be joyful. So in some sense, like, you're protecting maybe your inner child, maybe you're protecting that passion, you're closing it in so no one can touch it, that it will always be safe. The Eight of Swords is its restriction, its limitation, and it represents entrapment, trapping yourself and unable to move forward. So even if you are, so to speak, able to touch the physical fruit of your labor, you're not able to really enjoy it. You're not able to move forward. And it's going to continue keeping you stuck until you work through your Eight of Swords. These two cards completely contrast, because this is like a stuck energy. You're unable to actually even see your situation for what it is. But the Nine of Pentacles is literally having abundance. It's having everything. It's being financially independent. It's being your own boss. It's making your own calls. This Nine of Pentacles is a person who worked hard to achieve financial stability and is now enjoying the fruits of their labor. But if you're not able to see that fruit of your labor, if you're not able to see it, you don't have that clarity to know where you are at. And you're going to try to, not having that clarity, you're not even gonna have time to enjoy it, because then you're like, oh, okay, what's next? Like, you're immediately from the Nine of Pentacles, you're going straight to the Two of Pentacles, balancing. It's a message of conflicting energies. Because on the one hand, the Nine of Pentacles indicates a sense of financial security and independence. However, the Eight of Swords suggests that there may be mental or emotional limitations that are holding you back from fully enjoying your success. So if we're not even